Hello viewers, me and team here, and welcome back to Let's Play Dark Souls, Part 3. In this part we're going to be moving around and trying to beef up the character a little bit. But first we have to take care of a certain problem that's in the way. And yeah, apparently we're going to climb up the ladder, then climb back down the ladder, pick up an item we have, and then climb back up the ladder again. That, is, my friends, is how you play this game well. Just kidding. Sometimes I do things that don't make sense, but then again, how is that ever different from usual? Anyway, here we have the part with the bridge wyvern. Yes, it's possible to kill him. I don't know that it's too easy at this point in the game, though. He seems rather random, and even the videos I've watched on YouTube of how to beat him, unless you're just equipping the ring that lets you see really far and shoot your bow, it doesn't really work. Like, he'll just kill you outright sometimes, I don't know. But for just getting by him, this is how you do it. And at least for this, it's consistent. As soon as he starts flying down, you run around like you just saw, and you can get into the Undead Parish, skip having to go underneath. So that's useful. Plus you can pick up a few items, which I will do shortly. Had a couple comments from the last video, not too many. Someone said this is a full run on Dark Souls 2. That's actually not the case, but heck, when Dark Souls 2 comes out, and it has been announced, yes, I will Let's Play that too. Might even do it blind. Well, who knows? We'll see. Let's spam this guy a little bit here. Ownage, ownage. Yes. There's a mention that quality went down a little bit. I don't know why that is. The encoding is the exact same between every single one of these videos, without exception. Pretty much, I'm just putting it into as high a video standard as I can when I'm editing, and it's being recorded as good as the capture card can do on a 4x3 TV. Yeah, I need a better TV. I need a better computer monitor, too. So I don't know what's going on with the video quality. If anything, I would be expecting you guys to be mentioning the sound quality, because I had that audio crackling, and I used Audacity to edit that out. And I actually found out a way to do that that kind of works, and I did it for my re-upload of Part 1 without the intro cutscene. And I did a little bit better job of it in Part 1, or the re-upload of Part 1, than I have in Part 2. And I learned a little bit about sound editing in general. So in the future, possibly to compensate the audio desync that I see so frequently in my videos since I've switched to FFmpeg, is I'll just record on Audacity and adjust the sound that way. The desync is usually not major, and I'm sure I can make some changes to get it to work. Anyway, I decided to pull this guy first. And the reason I did that is it lets me run by a little bit more easily through that gate. Basically, as soon as the next undead on the low ground there spots me, he is going to run and pull a lever on the opposite side of the gate that shuts it. So I'm going to try and do a quick run by to get there before that happens. So you're going to see me sprint right through here, jump, roll down, and I do make it easily, but miscalculation, yes. A third one of these dudes comes through on me, and because he jumped back like that, I didn't get a chance to BS backstab him, and that's going to cause me some problems, as I'm going to get trapped. And usually 3 of these guys shouldn't be that hard, and I guess I just got a little bit too cocky. That's pretty much the only reason I've died in this so far, is getting a little bit too cocky. Someone accurately pointed out that I could have grabbed the big soul near the Undead Dragon in video 1. That is true. That was a misplay on my part. Although it really doesn't affect the Let's Play that much. But yeah, all I really had to do there was run away into a narrow hallway and fire off some soul arrows, and only one of them could get to me at once. I would have been just fine, but nope. Nope, we're going to try to circle around and use immunity for backstabbing to kill one of the guys. But as you can see, I never got the backstab off. So much for abusive tactics. No, I jested. It's actually definitely an abusive tactic. Hey, I'm being messaged on Steam. Very nice. I don't think you guys can hear that, though. I disabled system sounds for the duration, so there we go. So you don't have to hear, like, Skyping in the background like I had in some of my earlier videos. Answer that I'm recording here. Alright. So yeah, I'm apparently starting to build up a bit of a Dota 2 tutoring squad for me here. Maybe it'll bring me along even more quickly than I was expecting. I had a good run just last night, actually. I was playing as, I randomed the Medusa and decided to just go total noob trash on this guy and just harass the heck out of an Omni-Knight and basically owned his day. But that's another matter. Long story short, don't feed the Medusa, but I was Medusa, so yes, feed the Medusa, and obviously I'm going to win when I don't die and I get lots of kills. Back to Dark Souls. Now that this gate has been shut, it is shut permanently until I myself go over there and open it. I suppose a summoned phantom could do it or something too, but since I'm not summoning phantoms in this playthrough, well, I'm going to have to go over there and do it myself. Or at least, I'm not going to summon any player characters as phantoms. NPC phantoms are fair game. And I do take some nice abuse of NPC phantoms in some points in this Let's Play. So look forward to that, because it can be fun and it can actually make some challenging areas easier, as can some spells. I'll cover that later. For the time being, this is a nice little trick I've always enjoyed doing. And I actually thought of this on my first playthrough. Throw the alluring skull there, and get the big boar thing that can two-shot you to run into the fire for a little bit. Nice and simple. Don't have to fight them, don't have to try and backstab them. Really don't have to put in any effort at all. Yeah, I thought, okay, well, why are they giving me an alluring skull? There must be a reason. And, well, there kind of is, so that's cool. There really aren't that many instances where you can use them otherwise that are great. I mean, you can take advantage of it any time. You throw it down, sneak up on something, backstab it, I guess. But that's one of those where it's just fun to burn the pig. You don't get any food for it, unfortunately, but then again, you're undead. Why would you need food, right? Oh man, look at that accuracy. The next Tom Brady with that soul arrow accuracy. Could hit people I'm not even aiming for. Wait a minute. That's a little bit more like Tim Tebow! Oh no! Okay. I apologize. Tim Tebow is great. He just isn't necessarily the best passer in the National Football League. And for those of you who don't follow the National Football League, well, that's fine. Just know that Tim Tebow is a media favorite, but he's not actually that good at playing quarterback. I wouldn't take him, though. I wouldn't mess with Tim Tebow face to face. He seems like a nice enough guy in the first place, and I don't like to mess with nice guys, you know, face to face. Maybe a little online trolling is one thing, but also he would beat the crap out of me, so, you know, there's that as well. But even if he couldn't, I wouldn't, because, you know, he seems a cool enough guy. Anyway, kick that guy off the ledge. And cheese backstab. And yes, the Soul series, Demon Souls does this too, although it's even more precarious. Yes! I finally remembered! Put the blue tear stone ring on. Why I remembered at this point in time, I don't know. And I would be saying the exact same thing if I were live commentating this. I have no idea why I specifically killed the Black Knight to get that thing. If they didn't put it on, it probably would have saved my life against those undead soldiers out there, and I wouldn't even be in this area. But for whatever reason, I'm like, oh, maybe I should equip this randomly, right now, while walking on the rafters. But anyway, you had those in Demon Souls as well, and it was a bit more precarious in that if you fell, you died, whereas there you just take some damage, and it's not even that much damage. Anyway, same tactics as usual, give him a nice kick, except for he attacked me before I could, in which case you just block it like usual. Spears are really easy to block. They're also reasonably easy to parry when a computer's doing the spear pokes. When a human's doing it, they tend to do it from far enough away that a parry really isn't practical and you roll backwards. Yeah, turtles are great in multiplayer. But against the computer, parrying spears is really easy because really all they can do is the one thrusting attack, or sometimes a slightly delayed thrusting attack. It's not that difficult. But they also don't take away much endurance when they hit you, so it's really simple to block them too. They're just annoying when they turtle, but that's why you can kick them. Anyway, yeah, we're gonna beat this Baldur Knight like we're gonna beat everything else early in the game. Don't worry, as the game goes on, it gets harder and harder to backstab things, and a lot of enemies, flat out, cannot be backstabbed. So this is not a strategy that will pervade the entire Let's Play, for those of you who are watching. I mean, people who've played through the game already, they know you can't like backstab crystal golems or other random later enemies. try backstabbing the repeats of the Cowper Demon or something. It doesn't work. Most bosses can't be either. So, it just depends. Although, for whatever reason, it seems that with this kind of build, you have a much easier time against bosses than you do against the environment. And with the more heavy melee builds, the opposite tends to be true in my opinion. Yeah, I really needed to pick up that basement key right then. It couldn't have waited until perhaps after fighting the Balder Knight here. And that's what this guy is. Nope, had to do it while he was in the middle of getting an attack ready. Somehow I avoided taking damage. Yes, get teabagged. And I'm going to leave that gate shut, even though it really doesn't matter at this point, because I'm on this side of things. Maybe I should have reopened it in case I died, but, I mean, come on. What are the chances that I would die again? I mean, seriously, there's no way, right? No way I would die again. Oh, jeez. Ah, yes, tank that crossbow shot. Yes, tank another crossbow shot. I don't know why. Ah, there we go. Finally I decided, hey, you know, these arrows sticking out of my chest kind of hurt. Well, let's take 3 of them, apparently. This is how you go pro mode in Dark Souls. You stand there while a basic enemy makes a pincushion out of you with a slow attacking weapon. Pro. But, you know, at least it doesn't kill me, so it's an improvement from earlier parts. Oh! Parry fail. Got it. Alright. Parry fails are always great. And this guy who's being incessant needs the pay. And what better way to do it than to fish for a backstab? I'm getting creative with my tactics now. It's something you probably haven't seen in my earlier videos, but I like to backstab the early game enemies, viewers. I'm not sure if you are yet aware of the backstab tendency. It's kind of ironic, because in multiplayer, I don't go for a lot of backstabs. I feel like the lag gets the better part of me on that one, and I tend to get backstabbed myself. Or, you know, if you really start counter-fishing, the people who are fishing from backstabs tend to back away from you or roll away, or they tend to do something else. So, it's not really that practical. Plus, I can whip out a great combustion and just, you know, use a different kind of derp in their face. Which doubles as effective against parry.
Must be a new arrival. I'm Andre of Astora. If you require smithing,
never saw that
speak
coming.
to me.
I thought I was going to buy some magic items off of him, but I guess not. He's actually a blacksmith, in fact. So I'm looking at what he sells. Get some interesting stuff here. I mean, pikes are pretty cool. But nothing I care to buy. I like to conserve my souls for specific purposes on a run like this. Max cheesing, as you were. And I can't really decide what I want to upgrade here yet, so I'm not going to do anything. Most weapons and armor in this game you upgrade with Titanite shards. I don't know if it's Titanite or not, but I'm going to call it Titanite because that's what it looks like to me. And it's a made-up name as far as I'm aware, so I get to call it whatever I feel like for the moment. But yeah, most weapons and armor upgrade with that. Special ones will upgrade with Twinkling. The demon ones upgrade with Demon. And then if you start upgrading along elemental paths, you get different kinds of Titanite. Same thing if you're going down, like, a magic or faith paths. But yeah, that's to be covered other times, like when I'm actually upgrading stuff, I guess. Or if I ever do bother to upgrade stuff. I don't know, there's a lot of depth in the mechanics in this game. I don't know that I can cover it all. But, long story short, get Titanite, use it to upgrade your stuff at blacksmiths. Or if you get a smithing box, you can do it yourself. The only thing you really need the blacksmiths for are like changing the weapon's properties. Like taking it from +5 to +6, from +10 to +11, or from like +10 to like lightning or fire or whatever. There it is. I have like a 50% success rate on that. And a decent percentage of death rate on that. Yeah, well, it's good to practice, though. It's nice to be able to parry. Like I was saying, people will preemptively attempt to parry on you in multiplayer to get it. And one of my favorite things to do to guys who are showing that is to switch to a quick casting spell and just cast it. Because you can't really parry spells. Yeah, I don't think you can backstab this guy. You can parry him. Not sure if you can riposte him. Yeah, switch to Great Combustion. It's so cheesy. I love it. What do you mean you thought I was going to R1 spam you with my curved sword? No. No, I'm just going to try to slap a couple consecutive combustions on you. And yes, somehow this giant mace thing doesn't kill you too easily. I guess because this is still a relatively early area of the game. I'll take it. I'll take not dying instantly. This game does like to kill you instantly at times, so when it doesn't, I can appreciate that. And really not a lot of strategy here. My club isn't doing much to this guy's heavy armor, so we're just gonna soul arrow him. And that's that. This guy, unlike many of your enemies, does not respawn. He's a mini-boss. Most of the major mini-bosses will not respawn. There's a couple exceptions, but most of them won't respawn. He was guarding a Firekeeper soul, and he's also in the way to the next boss, so I needed to get him out of my way. And yes, yet another shortcut. Much like kicking the ladder down from the Bridge Wyvern area, this actually takes you back to Firelink Shrine. And this is one of the great things about the Dark Souls world. They did this a little bit in Demon Souls, but the way they have the world set up in Dark Souls is really amazing. You can often see like some endgame areas from other endgame areas, and everything's interlinked pretty effectively, and you can open up these shortcuts. It's amazing how expansive the world is, and yet how quickly you can traverse it once you've really opened up all the shortcuts.
Oh, hello.
And here I am actually going to buy some miracles, or specifically one miracle. I already have a regular talisman, but as you can see here, yeah, the magic adjust on the Thorlin talisman is much higher, and that will be true for a while, or pretty much forever for my character. You can see one of them had the A stat scaling, the other one has a C stat scaling. So for low stats of faith, you get more out of the Thorlin talisman, which is what I purchased. And I am going to throw a heal spell on, which really, combined with a stronger Estus Flask, you get a lot of healing. It's pretty effective to use that. You can go through extended areas, take a lot of hits, heal up between fighting, and you can still do pretty well. So I'm going to want to take another point in Attunement, though. Attunement is what lets you have more slots to equip spells. As you can see, I have Soul Arrow equipped. At like 10 and 11 Attunement, you only get one slot. At 12 Attunement, you get another one. I think you get another one at 14 or 16, and then another one at 19, and then finally another one at 23. And there's diminishing returns there. It doesn't diminish as hard as some stat scaling does. Like, you basically don't get any damage boost on stat scaling after like 40 points in a stat. But diminishing returns is still there. For now, though, we take a point in Attunement, we take a point in Faith, allowing us to use the spell. And now I have 5 pretty darn effective heal charges. So that's going to help my durability considerably. And yeah, I'll just put a point into Intelligence here. Slightly more damage from Soul Arrow for the time being. But I know for a fact I'm going to want to get up to at least 14 Intelligence and possibly to 16. I'm not sure if I'd want to go significantly past 16 Intelligence, but that'll get me a lot of the early game soul spells that really hurt. So that's my aiming point there. And then I might branch out into other stats. Haven't decided how entirely I want to build this character, because honestly, to cheese the game, you really only need the 12 Faith and like 14 to 16 Intelligence. And a little bit of patience, as we'll see in what I think it's either the next video or the video after. Yeah, we're gonna power up the character even more than that. But for the time being, it's time for another suicide run. We are headed back down into the new Londo ruins. And first we gotta pull the lever. Yeah, every once in a while, and I think I might do it in this video, you'll see me deliberately put an elevator up or down. On the off chance that I die, it'll be waiting for me again. And that's especially true when I'm going to Homeward Bone. Yeah, when I get to the bottom of this, I'll probably step on the switch again so I can teleport back up. That way, if I inadvertently die, this thing will be waiting for me at the top. A small time saver, and can also be really useful if you're farming. Like, you go down an elevator to farm something, and then you want it to be there, you step on it like that, and then when you Homeward Bone, you can, the elevator will be waiting for you on your next run. Basically, I think I said it in the previous video, Homeward Bone takes you to your previous bonfire, so that's something that can save a lot of time. And there is a spell that does it too, or actually it's a miracle, but you need 18 faith for it, and it costs 10,000 souls. Not something I really care to bother with. You can buy Homeward Bones for like, what, 500 souls? So, unless I'm going to be really spamming the heck out of that, it's more cost effective to just roll with the Homeward Bones, especially from a standpoint of stat investment. 18 faith is a lot unless you're going a faith build. If you're going a faith build anyway, then sure, go ahead and pick up the Homeward Miracle. But there too, you need to use an attunement slot to equip it. So you wouldn't even want to have it equipped at all times. Whereas Homeward Bones, yeah, you can keep 99 of those suckers in your inventory like nothing. So they're probably the better item overall, or the better option for teleporting back to the most recent bonfire, which is interesting because they're easier to access. But, yeah, whatever. Can't have everything be perfectly balanced, I guess. And Homeward is a valid option to faith builds. Okay, so we set foot in New Londo Ruins here, and this area of the ruins has ghosts, as do most areas of the ruins. And unfortunately, unless you're cursed, you cannot hit ghosts at all. So, or if you have a cursed weapon, that'll work too, like a ghost blade or the cursed sword of Artorias, something like that. Otherwise, you need to be cursed. Yes, I ran here for another Firekeeper soul and actually escape. Very surprising, but I knew I could do that. Every once in a while, I mess up and run off the edge there and die, because that ghost kind of blocks you, and it can attack you without you attacking back. So I'm going to use these 2 Firekeeper souls, talk to a Firekeeper, get my Estus Flask upgraded, which allows me to heal more, then I'll rest at the bonfire, and that'll be that for this part, but as usual, I will continue in the next part, so fear not, I will not go on another 4-month hiatus, or more. I apologize, viewers. It's so good to be back. I love being back. And on that note, I will see you guys next time. Me and team signing off.